Welcome to Pattaya True Crime, where we recap some of the dark and chilling crimes and unfortunate events that has happened in Pattaya City and the surrounding areas. Warning: listener discretion is advised. This podcast explores graphic content and disturbing themes that might not be suitable for all audiences. Righto, welcome back to episode number 33 of Pattaya True Crime. Your host, as per usual, Marcus Obi. Well, this week we've got a pretty stacked episode. We've got heaps of road accidents, crashes and stunts gone wrong. We've even got a rescue mission of a kidnapped victim of a scam gang. We've got a couple of strange ones. We've got a funny one and a bit of a strange one of the sexual stuff. So yeah, we'll get into that a bit later on, but we've got heaps more. Stick around. Hope you like it. Righto, number one. So a Russian tourist refuses to pay a bar bill and locals demand pricing clarity. A dispute over an unpaid bill by a foreign tourist at a Pattaya restaurant was peacefully resolved thanks to rapid investigation by city officials. That's good. So, preventing the situation from escalating. Nice work. So, under the Fairness and Safety Policy, Pattaya's Special Affairs and Public Order Unit, together with the Rapid Response Night Patrol at the pier, they responded after the restaurant reported the issue. A tourist, a Russian man, had an outstanding bill of 3,840 baht. Cheap bastard. So anyway, officials mediated the situation after discussion. The tourist agreed to pay a reduced amount of 1,500 baht, which the restaurant accepted. Residents commenting on the incident emphasising the importance of clear pricing at restaurants and called for regulatory oversight to avoid overcharging, especially in popular tourist areas. Fair enough. Others noted that prices in Walking Street often reflect the focus on foreign visitors, sometimes leading to misunderstandings. It means it's a little bit more expensive down there. If you don't want to pay, don't go. There's plenty of cheap places to go in town. So the city encourages both tourists and businesses transparent communication and welcomes any complaints to ensure Pattaya remains a safe and fair destination for everyone. I don't know. I go down to Walking Street. I expect to pay a bit more for everything, drinks, food, because it's a high tourist area. I don't expect to pay heaps when I go to the local market to buy a bag of rice, which is expected. Anyway, carrying on to number two. We've got a late night head-on collision near Pattaya leaves multiple injured. So a severe car accident occurred in the early hours at 3 a.m. when a pickup truck driver veered into oncoming traffic and collided head-on with a sedan. The crash left several people injured, bringing an immediate response from local authorities and rescue teams. Police officers stationed at Nongpru Police Station received the report and coordinated with the Sawang Bulibun rescue team in Pattaya to rush to the scene. When they arrived, responders found a white D-Max ute, Isuzu, blocking the right lane. Its front end was severely damaged. The driver, a Thai man approximately 40 years old, sustained minor injuries. The female passenger in the ute suffered chest discomfort due to the impact. Nearby, a white Mazda 3 sedan was found off the road with extensive front end damage. The 45-year-old driver sustained a laceration to her arm, while another female passenger in the sedan suffered only minor injuries. Rescue personnel provided first aid at the scene before transporting the injured to a nearby hospital. According to the driver of the D-Max ute, he had been returning from a social gathering and was unfamiliar with the route, causing him to veer onto the opposite lane and collided with the sedan. The 45-year-old sedan driver stated she was driving normally in her lane when the pickup truck suddenly crossed over and struck her vehicle, leaving her no time to react. Police have documented the scene and are coordinating a detailed investigation to determine the exact cause of the incident. Both parties will be summoned for further questioning as authorities proceed with legal action. There's a lot of this going on at the moment with the weather. It's rain season over here, so it doesn't really help. And speed, I suppose, is a factor, so slow it down. Righto. This one's shit. So number 3, a homeless woman. She abandoned her 2 young daughters at an apartment in Pattaya before fleeing from police. So the apartment owner sought assistance from officers of Pattaya City Law Enforcement and the Pattaya Social Welfare Bureau at around 10 p.m. after the woman left her daughters aged 3 and 1 in her care. She explained that the homeless woman asked her to look after her girls, saying she would return to collect them after running some errands. She allowed the children to wait for their mother from about 7 p.m. till 10 p.m, but the woman never came back. She then said that the girls eventually fell asleep on the ground outside the accommodation, still waiting for their mother. She urged the mother to feel compassion for her daughters and return to collect them. Officers took the girls to the Muang Pattaya Police Station before transferring them to the Chonburi Provincial Shelter for Women and Children for further care. It was reported that the homeless woman was captured on CCTV footage at a grocery store near the apartment around 6:34 p.m. She was seen buying snacks and drinking water for her children before abandoning them. According to reports, police later encountered the woman the same day. Officers attempted to speak with her about the children, but she refused to cooperate and fled the scene. Police are now reviewing CCTV footage from across Pattaya to locate the woman and bring her in for questioning. That's pretty shit. But yeah, the girls might be better off with someone else or in care. Anyway, hope everything works out. Number 4. This one's a bit queer. So a man, well not queer, but weird, I should say. So a man injured in a violent assault at a Pattaya bungalow after a night out. At 8 a.m, the Sawang Bulibun Rescue Unit in Pattaya responded to a report of a violent altercation at a bungalow in South Pattaya. The incident left 1 man seriously injured. Pattaya police were promptly notified and dispatched to the scene. Inside the bungalow, rescue personnel found a 45-year-old man with severe head injuries and significant blood loss. Blood stains were visible on the bed near the room's entrance. First aid was given to the victim before rushing him off to the hospital for further treatment. Here's where it gets weird. So according to the victim, he had met a woman at a local bar in South Pattaya earlier that night. Hitting it off, the pair decided to continue drinking and spend time together at the bungalow. Little did he know, the woman allegedly contacted her boyfriend during their time together. Shortly after, a man claiming to be the woman's boyfriend stormed into the room. A heated argument started, turning into a punch-up that left the victim with blood streaming down his head. Pattaya City Police have inspected the scene and collected evidence to build a case. However, formal charges will depend on the victim filing an official complaint. Authorities will proceed with legal action in accordance with the law once the formal report is made. That's kind of shit, isn't it? If you had a boyfriend, why the fuck would you go to a room with another man and then call him? Anyway, what do you do? Number 5. Pattaya teen crashes motorcycle while performing a wheelie and is hit by a car. 3 people were injured. Here we go. So the reckless motorcycle stunt led to the serious incident in the early hours of the morning, leaving 3 young men injured. The incident occurred about 1:20 a.m. on Sukhumvit Road in Naklua when a group of teenagers riding a modified motorcycle lost control during the stunt, resulting in a collision with an oncoming car. Police from Banglamung Station, along with rescue workers from the Sawang Bulibun Foundation, rushed to the scene after receiving reports of the crash. There, they found a heavily damaged red Honda Wave 110i motorcycle with debris scattered across the road. The rider, a 20-year-old, was found injured in the middle of the road with abrasions across his body. Kissed by the pavement. So the two passengers, an 18 and a 14-year-old, also sustained injuries. Rescue workers provided first aid before rushing all three to the hospital. Nearby, a white MG sedan was found with damage to its front right side. The driver, 35, was at the scene and cooperated with the police. He told reporters that he was driving along Circumvent Road when he noticed a group of teenagers riding motorcycle dangerously weaving in and out the road. Oh, they're weaving in pairs. Right. One of the riders attempted a wheelie, lost control, and crashed in the middle of the road. So despite attempting to brake, he could not avoid the collision with the fallen motorcycle. So they've done a wheelie, stacked it, and then he's jammed on the pegs and banged into him. That'll suck. Dashcam footage from his vehicle clearly captured the moment the motorcycle lost balance, skidded across the road, and was struck by the car. Police documented the scene and are continuing their investigation, interviewing all parties involved to determine legal responsibility. They also issued a public warning, particularly to parents during the school holidays, urging them to monitor their children closely and discourage dangerous behaviour such as street racing or performing stunts like wheelies, which can lead to severe accidents like this one. Well, yeah. You've got to have dash cam, man. Otherwise, people can say anything. But so I think it was back in August, I'm pretty sure, a young British tourist doing a wheelie on his electric motorbike. He crashed and killed a Thai woman. She was just coming home from work. I think his fate is being determined. Not sure. That's not for public record, as I've talked about in the past on the podcast. Will get sorted out privately, but yeah, pull your heads in. Don't got to do fucking wheelies everywhere. If you want to, go secluded. Don't do it in town. Fuck me. Innocent people. Anyway, number 6. Again with the crashes. 1 person dead, 2 people injured in a rainy road crash near Pattaya. An incident occurred in the early hours of the morning at 4 a.m. when a pickup driver lost control on a slippery road, crashed into a utility pole and a rubber tree. The car overturned, leaving 1 person unfortunately dead and 2 others seriously injured. The incident took place on Highway 331 towards Sutter Hip, near the Forestry Department U-turn in Mu 1. The Pattaya Sawang Bulibun Rescue Unit received a report of the crash and dispatched a team to the scene. When they arrived, responders found a heavily damaged bronze Isuzu D-Max ute flipped upside down with its wheels pointing upward. 3 people were trapped inside the wreckage. Rescue workers used hydraulic cutting tools to free the victims. The deceased was identified as a 43-year-old man who was pronounced dead at the scene. Poor fella. The 2 other victims, a 26-year-old man, he had a fractured arm, and a 42-year-old man with a fractured leg. They were both rushed to a nearby hospital for treatment. The 42-year-old man was able to provide a statement to reporters. He said the group were returning home from Bowin when heavy rain made the road slick, causing the vehicle to lose control, striking the utility pole and the tree, and then flipping over. Police Lieutenant Colonel, an investigator from the Huat Yai police station, attended the scene and documented evidence and initiate an investigation to determine the exact cause of the accident. Be safe, people. Be safe. Carrying on to number 7. So an Icelandic man arrested for drifting a rental pickup truck in Chonburi. Police arrested the man after he was caught drifting the rented car. Motorists shared videos of the reckless driving on social media, which attracted widespread attention from local media outlets. The pickup truck in the video was an orange Ford Raptor. The driver was reported to be a foreign national. In the video, the vehicle was seen drifting around the Bang San roundabout during heavy rain. So the second clip showed the driver drifting at the same location during the day when traffic was more congested. It's a bit stupid. A foreign passenger in a white t-shirt was seen leaning his head out of the vehicle during the stunt. Another video showed the foreign driver drifting in the middle of the intersection. Thinking he's fucking rally car driver in a Ford Ranger, Ford Raptor. So it was reported that officials from the police station discovered the pickup truck was rented, owned by a Thai woman whose name was not disclosed. Obvious reasons. The vehicle was confiscated and the owner was summoned in for questioning. The woman told police the truck was rented to her regular Icelandic client, who has been using her vehicle on and off for over 2 years. She said she had never previously received any complaints about his driving. She expressed disappointment upon seeing the footage, saying she discussed the matter with the man, who claimed that it was his friend who was performing the drift, not him. Yep. Based on the information provided by the owner, police later arrested the Icelandic suspect at his accommodation in the province. Officers have yet disclosed details regarding the charges or penalties he will face. According to previous reports, the Icelandic suspect may face a fine for violating Section 43 of the Land Transport Act by driving recklessly and dangerously. The offence carries a fine between 400 and 1,000 baht under the law, although the final amount may vary depending on the officer's discretion. Yeah. Well, we won't know what happens, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. Oh, this is a fucking strange one, right? This is really weird. Anyway, it's not really criminal. It is what he did to himself, but yeah. Anyway, we'll carry on. So a Thai man locks his penis with 2 rings over fear of genital theft. Yes, you heard that. So yeah, like I said, it didn't happen in Pattaya, but it's worth the story. It's not about crime, but it is criminal what he did to his old fella. Carrying on. So a Thai man in the Isan province of Buriram sought help after he locked his cock with a steel and plastic ring, claiming someone tried to steal it. Fuck me. Claiming someone tried to steal his private part because of its size. Bloke's fucking smuggling a weapon around. So the hospital had to call rescuers from the Rescue Foundation to assist the medical team in removing the 2 rings from his old fella. The hospital's medical staff did not have the necessary cutting equipment for the unexpected task. Yeah. Rescuers used a grinding machine to carefully cut through the rings to avoid cutting the man's genitals. The team successfully moved both rings within 10 minutes, though the condition of the organ did not appear to improve. Now get this. According to reporters, the tip of the man's penis had swollen to the size of a fist. Fucking ouch. So one of the rescuers, a 31-year-old man, he told the media he was stunned upon seeing the man's condition. Bet you fucking would. He explained that one ring was made of plastic while the other was stainless steel, originally part of a fishing rod. The 2 rings had tightly constricted the base of his penis, causing severe swelling at the tip. I'm trying to keep it together here. So what shocked the man and the medical team the most was the man's explanation for placing the ring on his penis. The patient claimed that a community health volunteer had tried to steal his penis because of its unusually large size, which he said requires an extra large condom size of 69 millimeters. That's 6.9 centimeters. I hope he's talking about the fucking girth. Anyway. serious. Doctors suspect the patient may be suffering from a mental health condition or under the influence of intoxicating substances. They plan to conduct a psychiatric evaluation for appropriate treatment, but the results were not disclosed. There you go. Right. It's up to you, mate. Hope you're all right. Hope your cock's all right too. Anyway, number 9. It's another weird one, or yeah, it's kind of funny. So a Thai couple caught on viral video having sex in a disabled bathroom. A TikTok user exposed the couple online after they were caught smacking bellies inside of a bathroom reserved for the disabled and elderly customers at a petrol station. The first video showed the man and woman talking at the entrance of the bathroom, while the other clip showed them engaging in sexual activity inside. Their intimate actions were clearly visible from outside of the toilet because the toilet was brightly lit to assist people with disabilities and elderly users. So the couple were seen having sex behind the door covered with frost film. Although the film offered some privacy, it was thin enough for people outside to see through in case of assistance needed during an emergency. Yeah, I've seen it. It's kind of funny. In one of the 4 videos, the TikToker captioned, "Can sit here all night long." The footage showed the user and his friend sitting nearby, watching the couple who seemed unaware they were being observed. The videos quickly went viral, drawing widespread attention from Thai people. Some found the clip humorous and filled the comment section with witty remarks, while others criticised the couple for being inconsiderate and disrespectful, noting that the bathroom was intended for public benefit. Well, they definitely benefited from it. Some of the comments. Just quickly bang these out. So this was some of the comments. Are they going to be embarrassed when they come out? You have a front row ticket. Do they need help? ? Why would you leave the light on? Can't afford a cheap hotel. They're only 150 baht. That was one of them. This is a good one. At least the man's giving her CPR until she regains consciousness. Go to the forest if you can't pay for a room. The toilet is for everyone. Fuck going to the forest, you get an itchy ass. Anyway, fuck me. It's funny. So the TikToker did not disclose the exact location of the petrol station, but revealed that he and his friends had stayed until the couple had finished and left. That'd be funny. When they walked out, you got a big crowd sitting there laughing. According to MGR Online, engaging in sexual activity in a public bathroom can expose individuals to numerous bacteria and diseases. Bet you it fucking could. Furthermore, the act may constitute a violation of Section 388 of the criminal law, which prohibits obscene acts in public places and carries a fine of up to 5,000 baht. Well, there you go. I think the funniest clip was, well, there's a couple of clips of whatever happened, and there was a clip a couple of days later that I stumbled across, and it was a guy scrubbing the floor in the toilet the next day. That was funny. Anyway, carrying on. This is the righto. Pattaya man alerts police, rescues woman allegedly held captive by Chinese scam gang in a luxury hotel. This is pretty good. So at 6 a.m, a local man rushed to Pattaya City Police Station where he reported the abduction of his sister, aged 20 years old, who was being held captive by a Chinese scam gang in a hotel in the Jomtien area. Acting swiftly, police mobilised a team, located the exact room and successfully rescued the victim. They didn't fuck around. They sorted it out quick. So the brother, he revealed that he received a desperate message from his sister, including the hotel's location, prompting him to alert authorities immediately for a rescue operation. The 20-year-old sister, visibly shaken and in tears, explained her ordeal to reporters. She explained that she had come across a Facebook post in a group advertising mule account jobs. Mule account in air quotes. So struggling financially and needing money for rent, she contacted the poster. She was later picked up at the entrance of Walking Street in South Pattaya, driven around Pattaya and Sriracha in multiple vehicles, and eventually taken to a luxury hotel in Jomtien, where she was held against her will. No good. According to the victim, the gang consisting of 6 to 7 Chinese individuals confiscated her mobile phone ATM card after she provided her bank details. They forced her to withdraw a sum of money while prohibiting her from touching her belongings. The group later accused her of a loss of over 200,000 baht from the account, threatening her with harm if she did not confess. She was then blindfolded and taken to the hotel for confinement. In a moment of quick thinking, she convinced the gang to return her phone, claiming she needed to contact a friend to open an additional account for them. That's good thinking. Instead, she secretly messaged her brother for help, providing the hotel's coordinates, which enabled the police to intervene in time. It's good thinking. During the rescue, authorities found one Chinese man guarding the victim in the hotel room. He was detained and taken to Pattaya City Police Station for questioning, but so far refused to cooperate or answer any questions. They'll get him to talk. So police have placed the man in custody for further investigation and are working to track down the other members of the gang for legal action. The incident shows the dangers of online scams and the exploitation of vulnerable individuals through illicit scheme like mule accounts. Yeah, it's no good. There's a lot of shit going on in Pattaya, well, in Thailand over this. Anyway, carrying on. Number 11. This dickhead. So an American man sparks an hour-long drama after jumping from a Pattaya ferry. 40-year-old American man caused panic among passengers on a ferry bound for Tawan Beach on Koh Lan after jumping into the sea and repeatedly refusing rescue attempts. Should have just left him. So, not really. The incident occurred when the vessel reached the channel in Koh Kok and Koh Sak Islands, in between those two islands, just before you get there. So less than 800 metres from Koh Lan. The man climbed onto the bow and jumped into the water, then swam away from the boat. Passengers alerted the captain, who turned the vessel around to assist, but the man swam away, waving goodbye, refusing help. It's not very smart. So after multiple unsuccessful rescue attempts, the captain radioed Pattaya's Marine Rescue Unit for assistance. The head of Koh Lan Rescue Unit for the Sawang Bulibun Foundation in Pattaya, who was on the ferry, captured part of the incident on video. There you go. Pattaya City Police stationed on Koh Lan, tourist police and the Pattaya Marine Rescue Team deployed rubber boats and patrol vessels to assist. When rescuers reached him, the American man swam away and jumped back in the water 3 times after being pulled aboard. Fuck me. The chaotic scene lasted nearly an hour before rescue workers physically restrained him and brought him back to Pattaya Beach near the Pattaya City Police Station. He was identified as a US citizen from New York. During questioning, he claimed he jumped because he wanted to swim in the sea and intended to swim to Koh Lan on his own, insisting he didn't want anyone's help. Yeah, but you can drown, mate. It's pretty dodgy water out there. However, authorities remain skeptical due to his erratic behaviour and have transported him to a hospital for a thorough medical and psychiatric evaluation before proceeding with legal action. One day I'll get it. So the incident disrupted ferry services and raised concerns about passenger safety and mental health crisis amongst tourists in the popular resort destination. Yeah, well, ongoing, I suppose. Number 12. An 18-year-old high school student was seriously injured in a motorcycle accident in the early hours of the morning on the on an overpass leading to the Pattaya Bangkok motorway. At around 12:30 a.m, the Sawang Bulibun Rescue Centre in Pattaya received a report of a motorcycle crash with injuries on the northbound overpass in Nongpru sub-district. Rescue volunteers rushed to the scene to provide assistance. At the scene, authorities found a black Yamaha motorcycle which had skidded and crashed into the bridge's barrier. The vehicle was heavily damaged, and the rider sustained critical injuries including a broken right arm, severe difficulty breathing. Rescue workers provided first aid, including CPR, to stabilise him before rushing him to a nearby hospital. Fuck. According to an 18-year-old friend who witnessed the incident, the injured young man had recently replaced his tyres on his motorcycle. Might be a factor. The group had been returning from a trip to the beach when the incident occurred. As they went up the overpass, his motorcycle appeared to skid, causing him to lose control and collide with the bridge barrier. Fortunately, he was not thrown off the overpass, which has actually happened before. That wasn't, yeah. Old mate didn't survive that. Anyway, this guy was a bit luckier, so to speak. So she, the witness, immediately stopped their vehicle and alerted authorities. The cause of the incident is under investigation, with authorities examining road conditions and the motorcycle's new tyres for possible factors. Police are continuing to gather evidence and witness statements to determine the circumstances leading to the crash. Yep, of course. Hope they're all right. Hope he's all right. That is a dodgy part. You got to be real careful going up over that. And motorbikes are allowed to go up there. Anyway, doesn't matter. Number 13. A teenage gang attacked a rival's home in Hat Yai, shooting a 13-year-old boy in the back when they failed to find their intended target during the raid. It's a bit shit. Police were alerted at 11:20 p.m. and rushed to the scene near the railway crossing. The boy was found critically injured and bleeding heavily. He was initially treated at the scene by rescue workers and then rushed to the hospital for further treatment. Investigators said the attack stemmed from an ongoing feud between the two groups of local teens. The gang, 9 people riding 3 motorcycles, had stormed the home of their rival looking for him. Failing to find him, they encountered his younger brother near the railroad crossing and opened fire, shooting him in the back before fleeing the scene. Officers recovered silicone rubber from a shotgun shell at the scene as evidence. So they shot him with a shotgun. Fuck me. The primary suspect, believed to be a 17-year-old male, accompanied by 3 others during the attack. According to the injured boy's older brother, the gang had a history of violence and had previously tried to break into a friend's house earlier that night. They also attempted to stab his friend along with a long knife, but failed when the victim escaped. After fleeing the scene, they encountered the boy near the railroad crossing and fired at him. It's pretty full on. Another relative encountered a separate encounter with the same gang. So she claimed that the teens attempted to attack her with knives and later vandalising her sister's parked motorbike. She believes they had been stalking her and her family and were targeting them intentionally. Police have launched a full investigation, CCTV footage from earlier incidents, including one from in September, showing the gang demanding property and beating another teenager. So it's all been collected as part of the case. So the victim suffered injuries, including ruptured tendons in both arms. Fuck me. No good. Anyway, they'll probably catch him. They'll catch him. Number 14. An American tourist was assaulted by a motorcyclist while walking near a popular nightlife area in Pattaya, prompting a police investigation. The attack took place in the evening when the 50-year-old man was walking back to his accommodation with family after dining along Pattaya's South Beach Road. As they passed Soi 16 near the Middle Eastern restaurant just off Walking Street, a Thai man riding a motorcycle reportedly swerved and struck him from behind. Hoping to document the incident for possible insurance claims, he began recording the confrontation on his phone and called police for assistance. However, the situation escalated rapidly. The motorcyclist allegedly slapped the phone from his hands and punched him in the face, knocking him down to the ground and rendering him unconscious before speeding off on his bike. It's not very nice. The case was reported to Pattaya City Police investigators, and they have confirmed that investigations are underway. We are currently reviewing CCTV footage in the area and working to identify the suspect. And it continues like this. So the Thai man, he was arrested for assaulting an American tourist in Pattaya over a road rage incident. The victim pushes for further justice. So the suspect, a 37-year-old Bolt driver, surrendered to the Pattaya City Police Station. He confessed that on the night of the incident, while heading to pick up a customer through the ride-hailing app, he allegedly swerved his motorcycle to avoid a taxi in the area and said he came close to the foreign man. So the victim raised his arms and threatened to take a photo of him and report him, which angered the driver. He admitted it was a moment of impulse that led him to attack the victim. After the incident, when contacted by police, he immediately cooperated and expressed a desire to apologise to the victim if given the chance. However, the victim also visited the police station and spoke to the media, stating that the incident left him angry and very upset. He said he loves Thailand and visits here often, but never expected to face such violence. He urged police to pursue the case till its fullest, with a possible jail sentence of 3 years for the suspect to prevent the suspect from harming others, especially tourists, as such incidents tarnish Thailand's reputation. He also said that the suspect is dangerous and would hurt others if allowed to get off with a simple apology. The suspect later approached the victim to apologise in person, raising his hands in a gesture of remorse in front of police and reporters. The victim, however, he has continued to call for jail sentence for the suspect. He also expressed gratitude to the Pattaya police for apprehending the suspect within just 2 days and praising the investigative team's efficiency. He also thanked the media for covering the story, helping ensure justice was served. Yeah, there you go. Doesn't want him to get away with it. Fair enough. So number 15. Well, this is a bit of a good news story from the rest. There's not a lot of bad shit that happens in Pattaya, but that's all I really talk about, but it's not all that happens. We'll finish it off with a couple of nice ones. A German national in Chonburi accidentally fell into a well 20 metres deep while mowing his lawn. The incident happened when the 63-year-old man slipped into the well in Sudahip district. He floated for 40 minutes before being rescued by local authorities, alerted by a neighbour. Earlier that morning, the man was spotted by his neighbour walking with his lawnmower. When she heard his cries for help, she immediately contacted rescue services. The rescue unit collaborated with the Disaster Prevention and Mitigation Office to pull the man out of the well. Upon arriving, they found a man floating and calling for help. Fortunately, he emerged unharmed after a 15-minute rescue, greeted by applause from his son. All right. So he explained that the overgrown grass had concealed the well, leading to his accidental fall in there. So what the fuck was his son doing? Anyway, don't matter. Authorities continue to emphasise the importance of maintaining property safety standards, blah, blah, blah. Yep. There you go. There's a bit of a good story. Yeah. Rescued out of a well. So this is our last one, number 16. So a man arrested for stealing motorcycles to feed 300 stray dogs How would you be? Police in Chonburi have arrested a 23-year-old man accused of stealing more than 10 Honda PCX motorcycles worth around 82,000 baht each, and is selling them for just 20,000 baht to raise money for his mother to feed 300 stray dogs. Fucking, that's a lot of dogs. The suspect was detained outside a convenience store in Najomtien while allegedly preparing to steal another motorcycle. His theft spans several districts including Pattaya, Banglamung, Najomtien and Sriracha. The arrest follows an investigation led by Deputy Chief of Pattaya, I'm getting there, Pattaya City Police Station over the past month. CCTV footage and police analysis indicate the single suspect had targeted Honda PCX motorcycles in multiple incidents. Investigators tracked the suspect's movements to Sriracha before capturing him in the attempted theft. The last one. So during interrogation, he admitted to deliberately stealing only Honda PCX motorcycles, explaining that he had sold them to a purchasing group for approximately 20,000 baht each. One of the stolen motorcycles was used as a personal bike for transport, while the others were sold to fund the purchase of dog food for his mother's care of around 300 stray dogs. Again, that's a lot of dogs. Maybe cut some of their balls off. I don't know. Police say the suspect employed a new, highly efficient method, taking less than a minute to steal a motorcycle. He reportedly studied the mechanics of the Honda PCX in detail to exploit its vulnerabilities. Police recovered one stolen motorcycle and returned it to its rightful owner, but investigations are ongoing to trace the rest. Police have urged Honda PCX owners to adopt stronger anti-theft measures, warning that the suspect's method poses a new threat to owners of this model. Absolutely. Police are actively pursuing leads to recover all stolen motorcycles and apprehend any accomplices who may have purchased them. Yeah. Get a bloody alarm or something. Honda PCX owners, sort it out. Anyway, that's it. Episode 33 is done. We'll be back in shortly with another episode. Plenty more to talk about here on the podcast. Hope you're enjoying it. Give us a like and a comment or a subscribe or whatever. Do all the good stuff for us. Appreciate yous all. Anyway, you know how it goes. Stay safe out there, people. Stay safe.